Hey, good morning everyone. Early Tuesday morning here. Gonna start the day off doing what? A mail call. Got a mail call from James Tedesco, or Jim Tedesco. Gonna put a link down in the bottom description of his channel. If you haven't subscribed to Jim, please do so. I wanted something from his contest and I totally forgot what I won. I do not remember what it is. So you gotta see what I won when I see what I won. I did open the box this far, so I'll take less time to do the mail call. Jim also won something from my contest, a couple of buildings, and I am really enjoying watching you, Jim, put these buildings together. I've had those buildings myself probably before my daughter was born, so it's probably 25 years. And I never put them together, so they're all, but they're new. And I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of you, Jim, watching. Did that come out right? Getting a lot of enjoyment watching you put those buildings together. And what did I get? Oh, Pico turnout motors. Ah, Pico turnout motors. Cool. I do have a couple of 2 or 3 Pico switches on my layout, and these will work these will come in handy. I'll be installing these on my Pico's turnouts. Cool, Jim. I really appreciate that, man. I was supposed to give a couple of shout outs to someone else, 2 guys, and for the life of me right now, early Tuesday, I do not remember who it was, and I didn't write it down before I came down here. So please forgive me, guys, if I don't remember the shout outs, but anyway, I know there's some contests going on. David Crooked River, I'll put the link down in the bottom description for him. He's got a great contest that he's doing with Darren at B&H Railroad. Darren's a sort of a neighbor of mine. He only lives probably about 15 miles from me, but we've yet to get together. That's a shame. We've been talking about it a lot, but we haven't made it together yet. So without further ado here, I am going to end this little mail call and get on with the rest of the video. Good morning, guys. Anthony here, Georgia Sunbelt. Wet, rainy Saturday morning, so decided I'd start laying my track in. I'd already cut it and soldered a lot of pieces, but usually how I do my track is that I'll pin it in. You can see those pins as you're going around the curve here. I pin it in and then lay it all the way around so I know where everything is that I want. Does that sound right? So I know where I want it. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to super elevate these curves, and this is not my idea. I got this from Joe G. I'll put a link to his video in the bottom of this one. But basically what you do is you take your longest box car or freight car or something. Well, my longest is one of these Dash 9s engines. So what I did is I laid the Dash 9 in basically and marked off as I go around the length of the engine as I go around. And as you can see, I got like a 10, 20, 30. 30 is going to be the highest elevation, then it goes back down. I don't know if you can see that one over there, somewhere where there's a 20. 20 back down to 10. And what I do is I take a marker and I go around the outside edges of the ties, all the way around the outside edge of the ties. Then I'll take my track up, then I'll put my strips in. I'm not going to show the cutting of the strips and things like that. Joe G video show you how you cut the strips, but that's just a little alternative way I did mine versus what he did his, but basically it's the same way. One of the other things I deviated from the way Joe G did it was he used white glue, white 100% Elmer's, whereas what I did is I used this Power Grab, this this construction adhesive, and that's how I laid down my first strips. As I mentioned before, I just had 10 millimeter strips here, and I doubled them up in the 20 area. These are single 30s. I thought I had some 20 strips, but I didn't. Then I went back down and I kind of overlapped the areas on the 20s so I could get hopefully a smoother transition up. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but what I used to glue the 20s, two 10s to make 20s, was this regular models glue to do that. So as you can see right here, here's a 20, but then I transitioned to a 30 there, so I didn't double it up because I didn't want it to go from, that would have made this area a 40, which I didn't want to do. So hopefully this comes out pretty nice. This is how I did it, and all, you know, a sort of a offshoot of what Joe G did. So hopefully this helps anybody that wants to super elevate curves. I know it may seem like a waste of strips of material. I actually did another curve the way Monster Railroad did it. He cut little bitty strips and put, I think, a strip every third or fourth tie on each tie. That was kind of tedious, and then I kept forgetting what thickness strips I had in what place, which, you know, I should have marked them, so that's my fault. But this is what I'm doing on a Saturday morning here, land track and super elevating curves. Also, Sparky wanted me to make a video of how I did my lift out section. Well, I had already built it, so I can't make a video as to how I was doing it as I built it. But basically, what I did is I knew I wanted a 36-inch section. This is the lift out section right here. And I'm going to try and pop it out without shaking the cameras too much. But it easily pops. Whoops. See, I thought it easily pops out, but it does. So, but what I did though is these are 3/8-inch dowels. I have a piece of 2x2 here attached to a 1x3, and that's what it looks like on both ends. I'm only going to show the one end. And then I built this, as you can see. I may need to stiffen it up a little bit more, put more support in the middle. This is just another piece of 2x2 on the ends. That's a piece of 1x2, and that's my sub row bed, I guess you can call it. And it looks like that on each end. And what I did is, I clamped it down on both ends, got it level, got everything level. This is hard to do when you're trying to hold the camera. Okay. I got it backwards, that's what the problem is. So it pops in easy. And once I clamped this down, all I did was I had a 3/8-inch drill. I came and I line drill through this 2x2 and this 2x2. Just did one hole, both ends. I went about yay far down into this one. Then I just took it up, since my holes were already lining up. And then I put my dowels in. Glued my dowels in. And so that way I knew that when I came back to do this, put this thing on and off, each end was going to match up the way I wanted it to. So that's basically how I did this. But I think I may need to come in and put a piece, I don't know, it seems pretty stiff. I don't know, I may just leave it in the middle here to stiffen this up a little bit more. But in a nutshell, that's how I did my lift out section. Evening, everyone. Anthony here, Georgia Sunbelt. I have finally completed the mains 360. And you are going to witness the inaugural run of a train around my layout. However, first I just want to give a little update on the layout itself. As you can see, what I'm pointing at is my my pinch point right there that I mentioned before a couple of times. That's the lift out section there, but there's still like a little pinch point there. I can walk through there straight, but anybody bigger than me, not going to do it. I wanted to be sure that I left room on this side of the layout, 3 feet or so, to get around this corner and back around the other side. There's a full bath and a bedroom around the corner back there. So I knew it was going to happen if I wanted a 360 run, so I'm just going to have to live with it. So, without further ado, we are going to see this is NS 6107 and SD40-2 making not its inaugural run, but its inaugural run with the train around the layout. It is really supposed to be running long hood first, so it's actually going to be running in reverse. Cab lights are white, which I think, not cab lights, I mean, what do you call those lights again? I forgot the name of them. Anyway, they're white, which means it's an extra, I think. Class lights. Ah, there we go, class lights. So here we go. That right there is just a temporary bridge until I get my real bridge built, being held up by some clamps until I build some temporary supports to hold that up without the clamps. It's now going across the lift out section. I'm going to speed this bad boy up a little bit so that this doesn't take very long. When I was running this engine around by itself at about speed step, I think it was 5, it took almost 8-9 minutes to go around. It is going past where my kiln industry is going to be and the yard. I've used up most of my track. However, I think I still have enough track to end up with this starting here at this switch and going to the inside. When I say inside, the track there where those pair of HCLX SD40s are sitting, HLCX rather, to make a long passing siding there for a little while until I get the yard done. With the way things are going, I don't know, it's getting kind of hard to find track. And unless you buy the 100 pieces for like $300 or whatever they're charging for it, which I don't want to do. And I have this running around the outside. Ooh, I wish I had thought to run it on the inside. I mean the inside. I don't know how you want to call it. This particular curve here is super elevated. It looks pretty cool. It would look pretty cool coming around that one, but oh well. I forgot to do the one that it's on. Duh. Don't know how I did that, but it happens. And I wasn't about to take the track back up to super elevate it. Man, for speed step 10, it seems to be running kind of slow. I actually just completed all this about half hour ago. I mean, with the inside rather. The outside, the one that it's going to be running on, I actually completed it yesterday. But this here, I just completed that about a half hour ago. What I just pointed to would be servicing a whole, going to be servicing a lot more industries as it goes around. This is going to be like a aggregate industry that I'm going to continue to modify these two pieces. I want it to look something like that when I'm all done. I'm going to build a covered shed and everything too. And of course I'll tell you about the fruit distribution area back there, which is going to be sitting there. And if I had been on the other side of the layout, you would have seen that those curves that the train just went around are super elevated, which makes it looks pretty cool. I might back it up just to see what that would look like from the other side. That was about 6 minutes. I'm not 100% sure we're going to be able to see this. But that curve is super elevated, only about 30 thou at its max point. The first hopper is probably going across the highest point right now. And this one is only slightly elevated on the outside. Let's see if we can see that one. My cinematography here is not doing too good here. Whoop, wrong way. I don't know. I can't tell it through the lens. Maybe when I play this back, may be able to see it, but it's hard for me to look through the lens and see it. But anyway, my cinematography is terrible tonight. Guess because I'm tired, my legs are tired, and I'm trying to stoop down the track level. They're not working too good. But anyway, guys, you just witnessed the full loop. This is the track here. I was telling you I just finished the inside loop here that goes around. Gosh, that light's bright. Then comes back in on the inside, closer to the edge of the layout. So, and what else can I talk about real quick? This switch here is going to lead into this area over here where my iPad and bottle and all this stuff is sitting. There's going to be a small yard in another industry. Not that one. That's just sitting there because I had to move it out of the way when I was doing something else. But that's what that area is going to be sometime in the future. And as I mentioned before, this bridge upside down is going to go here. And this switch is going to lead off into the yard that's going to be associated with the killing industry that's going to be over here, where all this garbage is sitting right now. And that's just one of the buildings. Well, that's one of the buildings. So it's just stuff scattered everywhere, but enough. I'm starting to ramble. So I hope you guys have a great night, and hope you enjoyed this short video of my train running 360 around my layout. First time. Good night.